Guys, welcome
Guys, we're here. We're back again.
to Sons of Idiot podcast with
Uh-huh.
me, Tom C.
Teamwork.
For an unprecedented second week in a row of
I know,
podcasts.
right? Isn't it astounding?
Breaking records every day, guys. That's what we do's. But,
Here's gonna be the real trick, though. We got a line, a production note from our good friend Baz that maybe actually talk about video games this week, which is shocking.
when did he say that?
He texted us about it.
He didn't text me about it.
It was in the group text. He talked about how last week was too much celebrity
well,
crap.
maybe we should just make this episode about how much he can suck it. That sounds like a great episode to me. Let's fill the whole time. I will tell you.
Here's my
Go
advice. Feel free to go to the podcast bursar for a full refund.
Listen.
Stole that joke. Anyway,
I'm going to tell you this right now. There is video game news that is exciting.
so exciting.
I'm actually going to give you a link to it. I apologize if you ever hear any Skype noises in the shows, guys.
Yeah, it's true.
It's us sending each other valuable information that makes the show better. Read that thread because it's going to excite you immediately. Guys, there's been announced a sequel to Huniepop. What? Yeah.
Beep, beep, beep.
Guys, that porno game that everyone loved. I just found a thread about it today. Apparently they're making it almost like do you ever play Simpsons Tapped Out or anything like that? No, of course you haven't.
No, but I am aware of people who have played it.
It kind of looks like that, but in that kind of environment, you set up cam whores, and they make money for you to do other stuff like that. So you're basically making a porno-selling empire, which delights me to no end. I feel is an interesting concept, but there may be less nudity, which bothers me. They also changed the artwork for the definitely worst. Normally I wouldn't lead with this conversation, guys, but I literally just discovered it.
No, I think that's good and something you're very passionate about, and that's fine.
Yeah, anyway, that's breaking news, dude.
Dude, that's right there.
Dude, that's like before it's even been announced on CNN. I'm telling you it right now.
Yeah, they normally cover their porno video game news pretty late in the cycle, so
You know what?
I think we handled it pretty well.
Maybe more people would watch them if they did. Anyway, so what's going on with video games this week besides that great news?
Just before we get started on that, I need you to do me. Could you do me a real quick solid?
What's that?
Just on your way home from work tomorrow. I need you to stop by the mall, the watch repair store. I need you to pick up some tiny Metal Gears for this watch that I'm trying to fix. Basically, what I'm asking is I need a Metal Gear Solid. That's basically what I'm saying.
Terrible, but I love it. Also, we don't have a watch store in our mall.
It's probably a kiosk.
I wouldn't even say that, dude. But I will do what you say and do you a Metal Gear Solid. Because guess what? That's coming up soon, dude.
It's coming out too soon, too furious.
Actually, in all honesty, tell me when that game's coming out because I forgot to pre-order it.
The 1st of September.
Dude, that's way too soon.
That's what I said.
That's
Too
not
soon,
okay.
Too soon, too furious.
Was it a too soon? Like a Tuesday? Because that's when it's coming out, guys. Okay.
Yes, it is coming out on a Tuesday.
Has there been any new information released to the public?
Not really, but what I wanted to do now, I just kind of wanted to go over the whole Metal Gear Solid franchise as it applies to you and or I. Just go into our history a little bit about it, you know?
Yeah.
Like what was? I'm correct. Am I correct in assuming that both of our first Metal Gear Solid video games was Metal Gear Solid? Neither of us played whatchamacallit, Metal Gear or anything like that. But we definitely played the PlayStation 1 before 2 came out.
Mm-hmm. I would dare say that we never played Metal Gear 1 or 2. Because we're grown adults. We gotta try... what?
Did you ever try?
No.
Like when
I'm not doing it.
Subsistence
It was also on the Legacy pack, which...
Yeah, that's right.
Tragically was taken from me too soon. But...
Yeah, that's
no,
true.
it never even interested me. Never did I want to play a 2D version. Because I mean, you had the Game Boy one too. Remember that? There's
Yeah.
a Metal Gear like Gaiden or whatever. I wasn't even talking about that. Not interested. Who like I get like okay, here's what you do, right? You make a video game that everyone likes, and then you say, "Here's the one for the Game Boy." And then you make a different game, and then just say it's that game. That's what
Yeah.
happened all the time when you were a kid, dude. They're like, "No, it's Mario Kart," and then it would be like a puzzle game. You're like, "What?"
Mario. Then it's Mario Sudoku.
You're like, what is that?" That's just put that game on this thing. But they obviously couldn't do that with Metal Gear, but like they could have at least done something else.
But you are one of the few people that I know who has played and enjoyed the Acid series, if I recall correctly.
That's because Acid is everything I like, which is Metal Gear Solid and trading card games. Which I've yet to find a trading card game I didn't totally love. I'll tell you, I was messing around with emulators on our laptops, and I almost got stuck in that trap of playing a Pokemon trading card game again.
Mm.
It's so good. Every time you just start it, the music just puts you right in that place where you're like, I want to play a trading card game. It's so good. The game is so good. It's like that game cheats all the time against you, but God, is that a good game?
Oh, I'm sure.
Cause dude, like it's none of the crap you hate. It's just all the good Pokemon. It's just all the fun. It's just great. It's just great.
It's kind of yeah. In a lot of ways, it's like Pokemon Stadium in that it's just battling.
That's true. But there's
Pokemon
also
Stadium, that's a battling.
there's getting trading cards. There's
That's
doing
true.
a dance. Listen, nobody wants to talk about Pokemon trading card game. We have to get hyped up for Metal Gear Solid that's coming out in this news cycle, whatever that means. Which a news cycle is a 2-week cycle starting tomorrow.
Okay, some call it a fortnight.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is within a fortnight.
Yeah,
So,
I know that.
so here's the deal. Everyone played one, they loved it. They're flipping around about it.
Yeah, I think it really that's really what put the franchise on the map. I can honestly say that people probably didn't care too much before, like with the SNES games and stuff like that.
You mean
Because
NES games? But no, here's the thing about that may surprise people. I didn't play 2 until it was already like $15 to buy it. That was not a release title for me. I remember I got into 1 after after 2 came out for a long time. Probably closer to when Substance came out.
Mm,
It sounds like I'm making it up, but it's not made up. It's true fact. Because
I-
I remember reading about that game for a long time before I ever bought it.
mm.
Back in the day
Yeah.
when you used to have to read about video games.
Yeah, I must have been really late for me because I'm assuming I don't exactly remember, but I'm assuming that I got Metal Gear Solid when a friend of my dad's gave me a PlayStation and like a bunch of old games because he was selling it. So
'Cause he was
I
becoming
bought
a
it from
grown-up.
him. What?
'Cause he was becoming a grown up.
Yeah. So I bought it from him, and I think that was just part of the bundle of games that I bought. But I didn't get a PlayStation 2 for a very long time. So I doubt that I played. Yeah, I doubt I played. I want to say I probably didn't get a PlayStation 2 till Snake Eater came out.
Did you ever actually play 2?
Yes, I did.
Are you lying to the audience right now?
No, I have. I did lie about it for a very long time that I had played 2, but I have played it since then.
So now, it's inarguable that 2 is the best Metal Gear Solid game. So let's just skip past that conversation and talk about what your second favorite one is.
I've come around on that opinion quite a lot. I'm not sure if I'm ready to say that it's the best. I am sure that I'm saying that I definitely did not give it enough credit back in the day. It is definitely an excellent game for a lot of reasons. Admit that it does suffer some pitfalls.
What, 2?
Yeah.
No, I will not admit that. There are no flaws in 2. I demand you explain your statements, because I believe there are no flaws.
It probably
Didn't need Emma? Yeah, that's true.
it
But
didn't
that's
need
not
Emma.
fair.
Probably had the I'm gonna go with second weakest bosses. in terms of story and player interest.
That's true. They were really almost just placeholders.
Yeah,
But I will tell you,
they weren't as placeholdy as Beauty and the Beast core. Though those people were nobody cared. It's like,
they were
hey,
hot.
I'm Drebin. You want to know the sad thing about this lady? Well, here it comes. Here's another half-hour explanation. I'm talking on the comm link. Bap beep bop a doop. Also, he was a robot.
Let me not make any sense of the plot. This is just a totally random aside.
Yeah.
This lady was sad. And you're like,
Hey,
okay.
that's great, but I have a lot of secret agent stuff to do yet.
This is not kind of a time sensitive situation. We're,
Yeah,
we're being chased. I gotta go.
Yeah. No, yeah, no. Now that you say it, I think one of the times he does call you when you're like in the middle of a chase or something,
Yeah, of course
or
he
like
does.
right by like a massive army or something, or yeah, because he gives you a call right after Naomi is taken by Decoy Octopus or whatever,
Yeah.
and you kill Decoy Octopus, and he's like, "Hey, yeah, I'm Drebin. You want to know what happened to this lady?" You're like,
Hey,
I
you may
kind of
want to get out of there, but first let me regale you with this.
yeah. Put on some tea. You're gonna have time for it.
I guess he probably can stop time. That's what they don't tell you about it.
Mm.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
It'd be funny if it was just that's what you were experiencing. Like he was just talking in Snake's ear the whole time, like while he was like sneaking down in the valley to go after Naomi. He was just like, and then this happened to this lady and blah blah blah. Snake, are you listening? Snake, pay
That's
attention.
probably true, dude.
Yeah.
Here's what. Okay, so you're saying, here's the thing about Metal Gear Solid 2 is that I can anything you say that's negative, I can pretend as though that was the point. So like it's unfair because I'm gonna be like, well, it's supposed to have forgettable blah 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 because it's supposed to not really be a thing.
Well,
And
yeah, it is the whole as the plot is. It's supposed to be a watered down version of Shadow Moses. It does kind of make sense that they have watered down characters of the original Foxhound team members.
yeah,
However, as a player stepping outside that, walking away from that, I don't know. I mean,
see that
obviously Vamp is kick-ass, and nobody's going to take that away from you.
it's you can't really argue with that. I think
No.
Fortune is cool though, not that interesting.
Yeah,
And then you got Fat Man, who's
that man is embarrassing.
really not interesting as a person. And then you have no more enemies, I assume. I really don't think
Uh,
there are anymore.
yeah.
Unless I'm forgetting someone important, which is possible.
Well, you have the Olga fight in the tanker, but that's not obviously Dead Cell.
Yeah, that I was just thinking Dead Cell.
Yeah.
Ocelot doesn't count as Dead Cell.
No,
Does he?
no, because you don't really fight him.
Okay, so here's my thing though. The game, like, yes, if you step outside of it, but like the game is talking to you as though you're stepping out of it too, though, which is the problem because like it's like, yes, I know you're going to examine this critically, but even if you examine it critically, this is the reason why it is this way, and you're like, so like it's already a step ahead of you on that judgment of like these characters aren't as good. You're like, well, that's because you as a player are experiencing blah 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 blah. You know,
Yeah.
that's just Hideo Kojima though.
Yeah, it looks like it is just Fat Man, Vamp, Fortune, and then Solidus.
Oh yeah, Solidus, one of the best characters in the whole series.
He's pretty neat though.
Like we
But
can all
yeah,
joke around and say that the people in 3 are all great too, but mostly those are like those really are like they're self-contained to the plot itself or that game itself. Like the other ones, like Vamp appears later, like Fortune's related to somebody, blah blah blah. But like the Fear, what's he doing? He's just some guy who hangs out.
yeah, but I would say that honestly, overall, you say that, but I think 3 probably had my. I want to say probably had my favorite series of boss battles. Like overall, I probably liked all of those boss battles the most.
Well, they're more interesting for sure,
Yeah.
but it's. I don't want to say
No,
not. I don't want to say it's not fair, but like Metal Gear Solid One's boss fights sucked because the whole like because it wasn't a battle game,
Yeah.
so it's not fair to be like comparing that. And then 2 is they were too young to make a good game.
They're so close, yet so far.
They needed more time.
It's true.
That's my excuse.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I definitely like the Foxhound stable of enemies. I think those are all pretty cool.
Hmm.
You always have a good time with those guys. Um,
Yeah, I would like a little
that
more detail on that.
well, you know, you had Revolver Ocelot, who's great. You have Shaman Raven, who's neat. You have
Yeah.
Decoy Octopus, who you don't actually fight.
Hmm. I guess those are all
Classic.
unique in their own way, though.
Yeah,
Also, I have a
that's
real
what I'm
soft
saying.
spot in my heart for bosses in games that you don't fight. Like that sounds dumb, but that I feel like throws such a curveball into games because they do this in No More Heroes, which is a game that's specifically just boss fights essentially.
Yeah,
But like you're going through the ranking of that game and you're like I'm number 10, so I have 10 boss fights left or 9 boss fights left or whatever. You're like that's what I have left. And then that isn't true because some stuff happens and some of them die off by other things. So you're
yeah.
like
Well,
you,
it's sorry.
no, go on.
Well, it fleshes out the world because like
Yeah.
in a small way because you're like, oh, we have to take down Foxhound. Oh, well, there's this guy from Foxhound who we're not going to fight
Yeah.
because maybe we wouldn't fight everybody.
Because maybe a world exists that's affecting this stuff besides me. Like
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
great. Like the one fight, I think one of the other assassins kills him in No More Heroes. The other one dies of like a weapon malfunction, and it's just great. You're like, okay, this like instead of like knowing what to expect right off the bat, you're like, I have this and I'm gonna do this. It's like I have this and maybe something will happen. There's a lot
Yeah.
of games are like scared to do. They're like, we gotta show you a product and then you get to do all that. Like I remember some people felt gypped about stuff like that, and I was like, don't you appreciate that this is a thing? Like, don't you acknowledge that this game threw you for a loop, which is something a lot of games don't do?
Mm,
But people are just basic bitches. You know what I'm
they are
saying?
sick. They are just.
They're all like, I don't want to be surprised. I want to fight a certain number of bosses that I've been exposed to.
I wanna wait for us to be over. Sorry. Anyway,
Too
um,
small to be the governor of New Jersey. That's what it's like, dude.
it's 100% true.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's your for those of you who are very new and don't know things about anything. Those are your core stable of Metal Gear Solid games. You got 1 through 4. Probably. I don't know. It gets a little murky after. It's. I feel like to me.
To you.
Yeah.
I would love. What are you trying to say here?
I feel like ranking them is a pretty murky prospect for me because there's a lot of things I like about each one, and especially because, with the exception really of 1 and 2, the games themselves are so different. I think it's difficult to rank them on the same criteria. You know.
That's true, but I constantly do it.
Well,
And so,
I'm curious to hear then your opinions on the matter.
okay, well,
Apostrophe P I N
yeah,
I O N S.
Tom C's pinions, pinion
Opinions.
nuts, dudes. So, I've said many times that 2 is the best one because it is. But the whole thing about that is it is the best one because it's the most Metal Gear. I always say this, and it's always debatable at best. But because Metal Gear Solid 1 is what Metal Gear Solid is, right? That's what you expect from the game at that point.
That's the core.
Then 2 expands upon that in logical ways while keeping the original game completely intact. It's a direct improvement on 1 in every way. You can say that now they added first person stuff and you can say they added that and that changes it, but they used it in a way that made sense for that game and just improved it.
Yeah, it wasn't like in Twin Snakes when they were just like, yeah, first person.
Yeah,
For
and
a
then
game
and
that
then
it was
then
absolutely not designed for that.
yeah, then it took away from that. But in 1
Yeah.
or 2, it's like made for that. Then 3, it's totally different. It's like if you took the game's engine and just put it somewhere else, because like the way that enemies work is totally different. It's improved in some ways,
I think it's improved in a lot of ways though.
but it's improved for that game itself.
Yeah.
Like, because here's the deal: if you put that engine into 2 again, that wouldn't make 2 better. It would make 2 worse.
No, 2 would not benefit from that.
Yeah, so it's specifically good for itself, but what Metal Gear Solid, it wouldn't be good for Metal Gear 1 either, you know? Like, it kind of changed what Metal Gear was, you know? Because then it made it all about, like, everything, which then translated to 4, and then translated to Peace Walker, then did all this other stuff. But, like, 2 was the most like the original without a major change like that. So my ranking is 2, followed
I
by...
think you rank quite frequently.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, you need to take showers because you smell.
Great. You got 2. Also, I love showers. If I could, I would do the show in a shower. Right? But the audio quality was terrible. We tried it, didn't work out. So 2 is the best one. The second best one is Peace Walker, which I didn't even talk about at all, but it is.
Dude, it could be time to experiment with the pod bath.
I'm going to tell you right now, this half's almost over. Actually, it's way over. So I'm going to need you to bring me up to date on what that is, and maybe we can go into it on the next thrilling half of our show.
Well, you at least finish the rankings. At least finish your rankings,
Dude, quick. It's a teaser. Do we want to finish the list now, or do we want to tease him hard?
I kind of want to finish it now.
All right. You got Peace Walker right there. That's great. I might go 4 then. Might go 4 there. I'm also not including a lot of games here because I don't have enough experience with them to put them in. I'm not going to be including Acid.
No, I'm just talking about the 4 core.
Well, Peace Walker I already said.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, which it has to be on there. I'm not going to put on Acid. I'm not going to put Portable Ops. All right? Or Metal Gear 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But anyway, so then is 4 is what I'm saying. Then it's probably going to be... All that we have left is 3 and 1 at this point. It's probably going to have... Because Ground Zeroes doesn't count yet either.
Yeah.
Because that's not even a game. It's not even a game.
I was about to say, honestly, if it was on there, I'd be putting that pretty low.
Yeah, it's not a game. I almost want to put 1 before 3, dude. I know you don't want to hear it. But I'll probably do 2, Peace Walker, 4, 1, 3. I know you don't want to hear it, dude. You might be saying, well, maybe you're just big boss phobic. Not true, because Peace Walker's on there.
That's right there.
So that's not even... Maybe I'm Solid Snake phobic, because his first game he shows up in is until number 3 on that list.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, technically he's in 2 also.
Yeah, he's not the main character.
He is for the first act.
Are we including Revengeance? Because that's numbered... It's before 1, then, because I like Revengeance a lot.
Well, that I think I'd take issue with. But guys, that's this half. We're gonna come back. You're gonna continue doing you a Metal Gear Solid. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. See you then.
Boom.
Guys, welcome.
Swolham Lincoln.
Okay. We're back. Second half
Here we
of our
are,
show.
born to be kings for the princes of the universe.
Guys, it's our Metal Gear Super Sode.
Could we come up with a real quick...
I just did Super Sode. It was so good. I can't believe we've never used Super Sode before. All the episodes should be called Super Sodes, dude.
I gotta be honest with you, and tell me if you're feeling it, because I know you are.
Don't say Solisode.
No, what I want is I really want to drink a Super Sode.
Oh, dude, for sure. I got these candies, right? They're, actually, you saw them. They had them at Mitsuya. That Super Soda candy. They're so good, dude. They have, ones that are flavored like Ramune.
I don't want that at all.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like incredibly sour, and they're delicious. They're like super warheads, but then they taste even better. Dude, I had ramen for the first time in like 100 years. That's a delicious drink, and
Yeah,
you get
it's
to
really good.
drop a glass ball into it for some reason, which is, I guess, a reason to do it.
I mean, it's definitely part of the that ramen charm.
I'm not sure why that makes it more delicious.
Does it kind of remind you of drinking like from a hamster water bottle?
Sure, sure does. That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
was like, I'd never had a hamster water drink before, but this feels just like that. I said, and I was right. But yeah, dude, we had all sorts of dude.
I was getting hamster flashbacks.
Here's what they do have, which is delicious. Oh, so there's something called Choco Flake, which is just like if you made Cocoa Pebbles but bigger. That's it. It's delicious. Like it. You might be thinking, can you really just eat cereal like a snack? Yeah, you sure
Yeah,
can.
I do that all the time. That's not weird.
Yeah, and it was great. That's what it is. These Japanese people know what's up when it comes to snacks, dude. I'll tell you,
Yeah, I'm sure.
it's a golden age of being interested in green tea snacks. Let's face it.
I thought you weren't a big fan of green tea snacks.
I don't love a lot of them, but the ones first of all, I do like green tea, but some of those snacks are bad. But if the fact is, it's a golden age because there's so many of them. Like the chocolates are
It's
good.
true.
The chocolates are real good.
Certainly are a lot.
They're all like
Do you
those.
feel like
Go on.
do you feel like the market's saturated now?
Oh, for sure. They know they've seen the weeaboo coming. They know that he loves. Not me. I'm not the weeaboo. The weeaboo is of course a man. And they've seen
Singular weeaboo.
that that man, loves green tea flavored crap. That's why they have those like gross green tea like cake things. They're like mochi balls, sort of, but gross. They have they have green tea Oreos, which look delicious, but I can't imagine are delicious
You
for
know,
some reason.
you know what were really good? Was the ones that were basically like the green tea Rolos? Those were delicious.
Those are delicious. You were 100% right.
Yeah.
They also sell like a green tea Kit Kat, no brainer.
Yeah.
And they have Kit Kat Crunch Bars, also a no brainer. You're getting a lot of hits there. But I digress. Candy is delicious. And
What do you think Solid Snake's favorite candy is?
Well, I'm gonna try and make an educated guess on this, and I want you to think about one too.
I know his least favorite candy.
What is that?
Warheads.
That's pretty good. Probably
Thanks.
true.
Kind of nailed it.
I was gonna say gummy sharks, but that doesn't really work. They're just because no one could hate gummy sharks. Let's face it, they're great.
Or his least favorite, or his favorite?
Either one, dude.
What about gummy snakes? That seems obvious.
Do they make gummy snakes?
They sure do.
Well, that's both his favorite and least favorite kind. No, wait, his favorite's probably candy cigars
Mm.
or candy cigarettes, depending on which one we're talking about.
That's not. I kind of want something a little funnier there,
I'm sorry that I'm too real for you on this,
dude. Come on,
Dude.
Yeah, but compare that to his least favorite candy being warheads, and then come back to me.
Okay, well, acknowledge that I'm right though. Acknowledge it.
Do people really like candy cigarettes though?
Okay.
Does anyone really getting excited for it?
I love bubblegum cigarettes. Those are great because they
Do you
look
like
like
them?
it makes it look like you're smoking.
Do you like them more than Big League Chew?
No, of course not. Who would possibly like it more? Who would? Okay, out there, I implore you to tell me a gum finer than Big League Chew. I'm not talking your everyday walking around gum. I'm talking if you want the
special
caviar
occasion
of gum.
gum.
Yeah, it's got to be Big League Chew. I don't care if you're going to call me a 4-year-old. That's some fine gum, right?
If Juicy Fruit lasted longer, would that be better gum?
It would be close. You know what's also a competition here? The gum inside of what are those things called? Blow pops. That almost counts because that's some of the most delicious because you got little crunchy bits of lollipop still remaining, and also
That's the key. You got the bits in there.
it's true. Uh,
Yeah.
they actually sell little balls of I got them a bunch of times, but they're big. They're blow pops. They're just little chunks for like just gum, but they got a stick because I don't have stick
Yeah.
time. I'm a famous internet broadcaster. I don't have time to get this blow pop off a stick first, man.
But then how are you gonna feel like Kojak?
That I just do.
Does that even factor in at all?
I no, because I've already done that. I'm doing it right now. I always feel that way. I idle at that. You know?
Hmm.
That's my life. All right. So listen, we're trying to talk. This is our Metal Gear Super Sode. All right.
Yeah.
So we got to get back to it.
Our Metal Gear Super Soda.
Listen, here's my question to you. Listen first, though.
Here's my answer.
What initially attracted you to the Metal Gear series?
Well,
Was
I
it
think
the
it's
possibility of butts, which was
think it
then
was-
totally acted upon?
I think it started out as a very young gamers not conundrum, but situation where this was just one of the games that I had, and therefore I was going to play it because I couldn't afford to buy new ones because I was a small child.
That's true.
So of course I was going to play it because hey, it's right here. What else am I going to do?
Is that all it is?
It's a big part of it.
Well, okay. So you didn't go out and buy it.
No, I don't think I bought the original one. I think
It was part
like
of
I
that
said,
super pack.
yeah, I believe I got it with that super pack. I think it was just one of the games that I had. It's the same reason I played Final Fantasy VII. That was just a game I had.
Well,
It's really the same reason I got into the Crash Bandicoot games at all because I had all of those.
dude, you inherited a legacy right there.
It's true.
I'll tell
I
you,
was like,
whoever did that had some good taste.
it was the PS1 Glory Pack.
I would agree with that. I wouldn't say the starter pack, but I'd say the Elite Pro pack.
I would say it's the best ofs.
What PS1 game was missing from that starter collection? Like, if you think about the basics of the PS1,
The classic PS1 games.
you're
of
getting
course.
Metal Gear Solid 1, you're getting Final Fantasy 7, you're getting Crash Bandicoot probably. What are you missing in that pack?
I feel like everybody played Parappa the Rapper.
I didn't. Therefore,
Alright.
it doesn't exist. It was
Well,
popular.
I'm glad we had that established.
I mean, did you miss it?
No, I don't think that there's any real. I can't think of any games that are really missing off that list.
I know
I
there's
think
probably a big one,
I know.
and you're gonna hear it later. But I'm talking like the games. There are a lot of good games, but those are the games. Maybe you could say Gran Turismo, but I wouldn't do that. But that's a great game though. Did Gran Turismo 1 come out for PS1? Now I think about it.
I think so, right?
Yeah, because I think 3 was the first one for PS2.
Yeah.
Anywho, that
So-
is great.
So we're talking about Metal Gear Solid. Who is your favorite boss fight? Not boss character, boss fight.
Well, boss fight.
Yes.
Here's where we get into some trouble. Okay? Because we all know that the greatest boss fight in all of Metal Gear Solid happens in 3,
Right.
right? And so I already established that's my least favorite. But the best fight, in my humble is that of the fights is with the end, dude. What's more memorable than that?
It's true. It's hard to argue that because that fight is great.
I feel like we're two robots talking to each other.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry about that. Just the way that the connection is working out today.
Occasionally you sound auto-tuned, which is rad. But not there, though. You're going to wish you did.
Yeah, okay. I was hoping that you were going to give me one of your classic Tom C traverses, but
yeah.
here we are.
I mean,
not doing that.
I'm trying to think of what else I could do, but, like, that's the first one I thought about, therefore it must be the most memorable. It sounds dumb, but it makes total sense.
No, it's I think that's very safe to say.
Dude, here's a question. What let's go over this. If we can try to do it, each game, what is the one part that you're not excited to do? Like, let's say you're playing 1 through 4. What part of each game are you the least excited to do? Not including the torture parts,
Okay.
which is obviously
In
the worst
one,
of every part. I already
in
know what my
one,
one is. It's probably the same for you.
it's either I got two here.
Mm-hmm.
It's either the tower
That was gonna be mine.
or the cooling and heating of the key cards.
That's a little tedious, but that tower is. When I remember I have to do that tower part, that is enough to stop me from playing it.
Yeah, it's bad news.
It's really bad news. But not more than that torture part. The torture literally kills my hand. All right, now number two.
I've never had problems.
I've
Never had problems with
always
torture
had problems
parts.
with those. I hate them, and they put them in every single game. Why do they do that? All right,
Yeah,
let's go for number two. The part you that turns you off from playing it.
the Emma part, the whole Emma part.
Emma part is a very good choice. I remember when we did the one sitting of that. Which, by the way, what an ancient tradition the one sitting is.
I know, right?
It's long ago that we did that. There'll be ones in the future probably, but I remember that was a part I forgot about and was very upset about.
That one's long. That one's long overdue.
Dude, when you get to that Emma part, you're like, this is taking forever, and then it just takes longer and longer. Because you're like,
Yeah.
the swimming part's awful, and then you remember you have to do the whole sniping part. It's like a good solid hour and a half, 2 hours of doing something that you don't want to do as a player, which is any of that. Because you're like,
How those water mines get down there? Did we ever talk about that? Because that was always stupid.
I think they're trying to say that maybe Fat Man did it. That doesn't make any sense.
But you can't roller skate underwater.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, no, that is by far the worst part of two.
I thought
No
there might be a
question about it.
worse part, but I can't imagine that there is. I hate the bomb defusing part, though. That's a major part of it.
Yeah, that's pretty tedious.
It's very tedious.
That's like the that's probably honorable mention because that's basically the same thing as the heating and cooling.
Yeah, it's got to be the swimming part though.
Yeah.
It's just got to be. All right, let's head quickly to number 3. The part that turns you off so much you don't even want to play it.
That's a good question.
There's definitely a part, which I can't remember right now, but I'm gonna remember it. Dude, there's like an obvious one, and I just gotta remember it. It's been a little while since I played 3, though. That's my biggest problem.
Yeah, but I don't think there's anything that particularly stands out there.
As awful, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little trickier to think of one there. I will tell you, I don't love the motorcycle part, but that's not enough to turn me off.
No.
Hmm.
I think.
I would say torture, but we already disavowed that.
You've been disavowed.
Been disavowed of that.
The Secretary of Defense has disavowed you. I.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that one's the best one because there's nothing to hate.
Yeah, I think
I do hate the one part where you're going through like trenches on a mountain and there's a helicopter.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I was gonna say the mountain, but the only reason that at least is not there's nothing about that game that's particularly tedious,
Yeah.
which is nice. It's just that part is difficult because there's a helicopter there.
Yeah.
But it's not that you're going back and forth to do stuff. You're always progressing the plot at least. You know.
That's true. I will say this doesn't really count as a part, but I always struggle with holding people up in that game for no reason. That is the only game I can't hold people up in. And I don't know why, but it's just how my I was so trained on holding people up in 2, and I always mess it up in 3. And it's the easiest thing in the world to do, but I just don't have the timing right or the distance right. Something.
Weird.
But, yeah, I don't know.
I always just took people out in that game. I was never a holder upper.
Well, I collected all the dog tags in 2, so it
Yeah.
became a part of my life. But let's move on to 4.
4.
I'm gonna tell you right now, the whole bike chapter. It just does nothing for me.
I don't know. I feel like I'm inclined to say the latter half. For me, I think it's the latter half of when you're sneaking to Shadow Moses. Because when you're trying to sneak into like the warehouse where all those dwarf geckos and like regular geckos are, that part's super duper hard. Because you can't really hide effectively because there are just so many robots all over the place. Plus, I fucking hate those geckos. They freak me out.
I'm trying to remember that part in more detail.
It's like I think it's when you get to the warhead storage area.
Here's my question about
Because we
that.
all love the beginning where it's basically just a fanboy flashback, fatback.
Yeah, for sure, and it's great. My question is this: are all the warheads there disabled now?
No, because the whole point was that Liquid Ocelot was going to get a warhead from there to use to blow up the satellite.
Yeah, okay. Cause can't you shoot in that area again?
Yes,
So how's that work?
I don't remember.
Good.
It's been too long since I played it.
Yeah, maybe they invented bullets that stopped working.
Yeah,
Bullets that stopped doing stuff.
full
That,
that stuff.
that game has a lot
Yeah,
of hard moments, but it at least has enough variety in why things are hard that I don't have any specific one that I really am turned off by, I think.
yeah. I think, like I said, I think just that part. I think everything else I enjoy quite a
Ooh,
bit.
maybe the part where you're tailing that guy in your Solid Snake in like normal clothes.
Yeah, that's a
That's not hard,
little.
but that takes forever.
Yeah, that's a little long, but
Yeah, I don't know. Peace Walker, nothing because Peace Walker's a perfect game. Nothing to hate there. It's a wonderful game. Like there's no moments in that game you're like this sucks.
I feel like there is one, but since I never played it, I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think there is. So deal with it, sucker.
Shit.
All right. So we actually are approaching the end of this episode, my friends. As much as
What?
you don't want to believe it, dude, I had a bug riding my car for at least 40 miles yesterday, and it bothered me.
That's fun.
Now I have a bug on my sorceress figure, and it's bothering me even more. These bugs have no manners these days, dude. They just come
Dude,
around. They live in
they
your
want to
house.
get on that. They want to get on that sweet fig.
It's true. They live in your house. They get free rides, dude. It's no good. What do these freeloading bugs think they're doing? Dude, you want to hear
Come
really bad
on,
news
guys.
that may not be show news, but it's terrible news?
Please.
So I collected the trash the other day and put it in the trash can. Guess what I found? In the trash can, outside.
I don't want to guess.
You already know the answer. That's right. Heaps of maggots.
That's not as bad.
It was so gross, dude. It was so gross, dude. We live in a hygienic environment, folks. Pretty clean people. Seeing those maggots, real discouraging. I don't care where you're from. You're not into maggots on your stuff.
That's
Even if it's a
true,
trash can.
but I'm very thankful. I'm still thankful it's not mice.
Listen, we're all thankful for that. I think we would be somewhat thankful for a reason to get a cat, but not more so than thankful for not having mice. Would we agree with that?
That's probably true. Yeah.
Thank you. Well, guys, I would say this episode's coming to a close. We would love it, though, if you sent us emails.
Whoa, guys, we love reading your emails. We love hearing what you think about the show. We also love taking suggestions about the upcoming season of Fallout New Vegas Deadly Dice.
We have an idea there, which I think is very, very good. Going to fix a lot of our problems. But let's face it, you guys are smarter than us.
It's going on a brief hiatus.
Yep.
Brief hiatus.
Hate us.
So you got time. You got like 2 weeks.
Hate us, gonna
Just-
hate.
Yeah, hate it. Well, they hate us because they ain't us. That's what I say.
It's true.
But you guys got a couple of weeks to sneak in some classic suggos.
Hold on. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you got some weeks. You got some weeks to sneak in some suggos. No big deal. And so do that because I know. Here's what we definitely should do.
I'm a sucker for some
It's
suggos, let's face it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Who isn't?
No. Nobody
I
could,
would say
nobody.
I would say that people who get their suggos used, we're gonna call it out on the show. We'll give you credit. Sure, we will.
For sure, it's going to be a regular sagacious period. All right.
Yeah. gonna be a real one of those.
Anyway,
Guys, we love hearing emails. We love that you read Twitch or Twitter. We haven't done Twitch in forever.
but we still have one. Go check it
We
out.
still have one.
We do stuff on Twitter. Check it out. We do stuff on Facebook. Check it out. We also have a Patreon.
We've got all the social media covered. All of it.
All of it's social media. We have a Patreon. We are $18 away from our second goal.
Look on Instagram for hot cosplay girls and fitness chicks.
Yeah. We don't have anything to do with that.
No,
but
that's not us. But
here's what you should do.
That's a recommendation.
Do that and then link it to us because we're bros. We want that. We're all friends here.
You want that? We want that. It's not a big deal.
It's great. We all get to enjoy that. Rate this on iTunes if you enjoy it. If you don't enjoy it, well, I'm sure you didn't get this far. What else? Check out the YouTube. I'm sure you're very aware of that. You may even be watching this on the YouTube. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with how we do things here at the Sons of Idiot Show, we don't just leave you this way. We don't give you a ramp down when it comes to ending the show, folks. We give you the thing everyone's waiting for at the end of the show.
Yeah, we ramp up and then we ramp off a building
into our world famous Speed reviews.
Tom, this is the top 10 strangest video games. Number 10, The Great Gianna Sisters.
This is a game about Gianna Michaels and her sister, which is probably pretty good. 10 out of 10. Metal Wolf Chaos.
Metal Wolf Chaos is the greatest game ever made because you play as the President of the United States, finding your traitorous vice president in giant robots. Literally. It gets 10 out of 10. Number 8, Monster Party.
Monster Party is a game that was clearly made in Japan, otherwise they would have called it the Monster Mash and made $1 million. 0 out of 10. Revolution X.
Revolution X is like George Orwell's classic dystopian novel 1984, except with 100 million% more Aerosmith. It's a 0 out of 10. Number 6, Penn and Teller's Smoke and Mirrors.
This is a game I didn't know existed, but it can't be good, guys. Listen, I love Penn and Teller, but gee whiz. 0 out of 10. Communist Mutants from Space.
I need to see those birth certificates on those commie mutants, because I'm not gonna. That's not my America. I know that's not your America. It gets a 2 out of 10. Number 4, JFK Reloaded.
This is that game where you pretend to be Lee Harvey Osmond and you go and you sing songs with your sister Marie Osmond. 10 out of 10. Hong Kong 97.
Yeah, I have no idea what this is. I just can't. I'm sure. Just moving on. 0 out of 10. Number 2, Mystique Games.
Apparently this is a series of games including Custer's Revenge, which is that porno game where you bang Indian chicks. Really great games. 0 out of 10. Super Columbine Massacre RPG.
Literally any time this was made is too soon.
I agree with that.
Guys, we're gonna catch you next week. Thanks for listening.